people have to know about uMduduzi, uThemkosi, and uMandoza. So this story doesn't tell a story about uMandoza. It's uMduduzi. There's a young boy called Themkosi. There's uMduduzi, the husband, the father, the brother, the cousin, and there's uMandoza. So I'm trying to tell a story of 38 years in 6 episodes. Very difficult, very, very difficult, knowing that uMduduzi bekumuntu wabantu.
You have something special.
That is the voice.
I love your dream has finally come alive.
I'm very excited. The art piece that you're seeing at the back, credits go out to a young man called Art with Sony. Art with S-O-N-I. He did this piece of my daughter and myself, and I'm wearing the Highlanders t-shirt. Anybody from Zimbabwe, they would know. I call it the Paganiela says Zimbabwe. Everything just came out exactly, and that's talent that we're talking about right here. This episode is going to be very emotional, especially if you are 35 and older. You'd understand, because we're talking about a legacy of a giant, legacy of a poet, legacy of not only a superstar, but somebody who showed us that we could become successful. We can become our own. We can become our stars for our own people. We can drive what we want to drive. We can become successful through our own God-given talents. And it's become a very big part of the South African culture, not only just in music, because his music was not just music to make you dance. Yes, he'll make you dance, but he'll still inspire you. That's what I loved about his music. He'll speak about respect, tlhompho, humility, ubuntu. You are because I am because you are because we are because you are. He would speak about things like Sunday Hope, encouraging society. He would speak things about, his slogans are still said even today. That's why I call him a poet. He's like our Tupac, for lack of a better word. You hear that from politicians all the time. You hear that from your parents all the time. You hear it from Kasi people all the time. So he's always been a very big part of the South African fabric culture, not only just music. He's just been an amazing brother. I've been very blessed to have known him in person. I've been very blessed to have, I just didn't get a chance to make music with him. But I'm glad that we were brothers, and may his soul rest in peace. TSHABALALA. And the reason why we're convening here today is because BET Africa is proud to announce the highly anticipated premiere of NKALAKATHA, The Life of MANDOZA, a 6-part biopic that delves into the extraordinary life of the late South African Kwaito music legend, MDUDUZI Edmund Shabalala, affectionately known by you and I as MANDOZA. The captivating journey of the iconic musician will unfold from the 16th of August 2023, exclusively on BET Africa DSTV channel 129. NKALAKATHA, The Life of MANDOZA, is a dramatization of MANDOZA's life, from his humble beginnings, his meteoric rise to stardom, and the bittersweet years leading up to his untimely departure. His compelling biopic shows the music side, the human side, the South African icon, and pays homage to a man who reigned as a true powerhouse in the South African entertainment scene, leaving an undeniable mark during the earlier years of our young democracy in South Africa. It features Abolanz Stir, it features Kwaito artists, it features people who've lived their life with him, some of his close friends, his family. I'm also very honored to be a part of the biopic as well, because I've had an opportunity to go out there and also contribute some of the stories that I've had to share with my experiences with him. Mfowethu, may your soul rest in peace. Siyabonga ngayo yonke into osenzele yona. I'm very humbled to have the wife right here, usisi MPHO TSHABALALA. Kunjani sisi wami?
Ngiyaphila njani bhuti wami?
Ngiyabonga. Siyabonga.
Bonga mina bhuti wami.
Lawo mawuwa wakho.
Ngiyabonga.
I had an opportunity to interview Umamaga Ricky Rick, may his soul rest in peace, Mr. Makaro. And I was just so impressed with what she had to share as far as his legacy and continuing the legacy is concerned. And I'm impressed with that because a lot of the times we see Americans do that very well. We haven't been good in doing it as South Africans. And that's where I'd like for us to start. What inspired you to come up with this?
Before this, Sbu, as you know, I've spent time with you. We have the MANDOZA Foundation. I believe Umtutuzi uvumile kuNkulunkulu that I'll come back home, trusting that lo engimshiyayo nalaba engibashiyayo, they will continue with my legacy. Knowing Umtutuzi, he wasn't ready to go, but because of the trust that he had, Uguti MPHO will continue with this, and the rest of the family will continue with this. So it starts from there. Okay, what projects? I started with the foundation. The foundation is already doing some work already. Then I said, after, I call it the full circle. After last year on the 18th of September, being my birthday, he passed on my birthday.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's it.
Yeah. Very selfish man.
No, he's not, man. Look at his car.
Yeah. So I said it's a full circle in Podile. What do I do now? Let me tell a story about this great man. People have to know about Umtutuzi, uThemkosi, and uMandoza. So this story doesn't tell a story about uMandoza. It's Umtutuzi. There's a young boy called uThemkosi. There's Umtutuzi, the husband, the father, the brother, the cousin, and there's uMandoza. So I'm trying to tell a story of 38 years in 6 episodes. Very difficult. Very, very difficult. Knowing that Umtutuzi bekumuntu wabantu. Even his bodyguard will say, Usmoden, hey,
Small, shout out to my brother
shout out to Small. Ungisebenza kanzima kawu. Ngiyakata when uyahamba uyabantwini. Kanti unjani? So yeah, that's where it all began. And just I said, let me have fun telling the story. Yes, we've seen documentaries and I'll get there, but let's just play, because a biopic is just telling a story as it is with some dramatization, obviously. But what I also wanted here was to know the men ngaphandle kwendlu yami. So I got friends to be interviewed. And I was shocked. I'm like, okay, man, why the But yeah, it is what it is. It's a good story.
Congratulations, I can see the little ones are here. Hey, Intlele wanu Karabo. And she's
The
tall.
princess, she is tall, definitely. Daddy's princess. Oh, I know wherever Umtutuzi la khona, the only thing is that he never got to spend time with uKarabo, because I remember when I gave birth to Karabo, I stayed in hospital because of the stroke, and uKarabo bekumntana kaMtutuzi. Yeah, as soon as she was discharged in hospital, Duduzi cancelled gigs and took care of Karabo. So it's Daddy's princess.
Does Karabo understand the figure that her father was? And just what he meant to South Africa to this day?
I think at times, and she's like, oh yeah, they asked me this, they asked me that. Oh, I saw Daddy's name on a textbook. Oh yeah. So I think as she grows up, she gets to understand it. Yeah, because she never had that opportunity, because Umtutuzi died when Karabo was only 6 years old. So she never got to have that opportunity like the boys, to spend time with him out there on the streets. Yeah.
Karabo is now 12 years old. Let's talk about Tumelo.
Tumelo. Oh, okay. So Tumelo, he's also got an AKA. So he's AKA Harry.
Oh, Tumelo, Harry.
Yeah.
Karabo now AKA.
No.
Okay, Tumelo.
Tumelo has an AKA because Tumelo is a musician.
Yeah.
He says he's not a musician. I only learned this week that he says he's a engineer, music engineer. Ubalile nje and then he also said he's an author. I'm like, Aibo, when did you become an author? He said in a business language, when you write music, you called an author. I'm like, it's school fees, Sami. So I didn't know. I was schooled by Tumelo this week. So Tumelo has recorded a few tracks, you know, Lava Young, hip-hopish. But with me, with the background and knowledge of the music that I have, I had to sit down with Tumelo and say, let's not go there. Let's stay at home. Remember, just all the time, Mauband Mike, remember who you are. Utumelo Lungile Shabalala. What do those names mean? Think, Oguti, when your mother and your father gave you the names, what were they thinking? They were not just names. Tumelo is like hope. Lungile, it's like Gulungile, and you are Shabalala, man. So now I'm glad that he saw the light. His music now is more, it's got more vernac. It's got more vernac. That also, he said yes to my idea, because I'm my idea. Then I said, you know what? One day it would be nice, Mazo Studio, and just respond to your dad's song. Oguti, like, because Mangbakuza, being a single mother, it's difficult to boys. So at times, Mangtinegile, being very music. I'm like, Shalanda, Melanda, Utinu Bab.
Oh, but the music. I think I remember you told me that the last interview.
Yeah. Angenetshele ngaphuma.
Bakhuza ngomculo wakhe.
Bakhuza ngomculo wakhe. Yeah. Ngaphuma ngabe ama drugs. You know ngasurvivor. So I'm saying listen to what your dad is saying. Most, as you were saying earlier on, most of Mtu's song is just all about his life experiences. Uzoyithola kanjani uhleli khona. You can't just gap year kwami. There's no such thing. Do something about your life. So then he said yes. So his God is going to be released along with the biopic.
Oh, nice. So he's basically done a soundtrack.
He's done a soundtrack. He's also part of the biopic. Nice. So he's acting as his older brother, Utukulu.
Nice.
It was an amazing experience. So I try, in everything that I do, I involve the kids. I don't know one day, so I don't want to leave them in the dark. We have to take, you know, so that if one day I'm no longer around, they will know what to do. I see abakwelanga all over the place and asking people. So with the foundation, with anything, like Utukulo is a board member in the foundation. So I make sure with Bamban, now, this is your legacy. It's not my legacy. Shabalala legacy. Take care of it. Ni bambi ngezandla zenu.
Abathi ngikhuzile tsothi ngathi aye kuphapha ngigebengu sesifikile.
Awusithatha ama-kilometers ngaso sonke isikhathi sewash. Gova le bus.
Abathi thina uyasazi balana
Very.
Abathi mina ngithibi angigobeke. Oh man, you know, I'm
lost.
reciting these lyrics because they're now together in heaven with Umakesh.
Yes.
Tukulo, my brother, rest in peace. Thank you guys for being our childhood heroes. Thank you guys for showing us that we can do this music thing and make a living out of it and feed our families. Today we are regarded as role models. Some of us are continental, some of us are global. Some of us have done historical things because of the inspiration that you guys had for us. And I'll forever love you, my brothers. Makesh, I just never had a chance to interview my entire life. And for me, I always regard you as the greatest Kwaito lyricist of all time.
Yes.
When I think of your collaborations and how much Mtutuzi loved Mando, but in Mtutuzi loved Tukulo.
Yeah.
I want to go to the third child now, the firstborn, Utukulo.
So
I think the stories that are out there is that he was named after Umakesh.
Yes,
that's
he
how
was
much
the
they were
godfather.
so close.
Yes, he was the godfather. So at times, I love it. You know how Tukulo, how funny he was. At times he'd be like, "Hey, mami, ngikhathelele life. Ngiyakuzongiboleka birth certificate ka Tukulo ngiqalele phansi ngiphile." I'm like, "No, kanjani Tukulo? Singabo Tukulo Shabalala." So it's and you know, Makesh, with that, you know, slick, charming talk, So yeah, Tukulo was the godfather, and funny enough, with Kabo Tukulo khona noTumelo.
Oh, Kona Notumelo.
Yes.
Sis Dineo.
Yes.
Thank you, Sis Dineo.
When
we were still
young. Oh,
young.
yeah,
Dineo. Demo and Sony. You used to give us CDs. You used to look after us as young kids.
Amazing. I was telling her that I think the Ukarabo, to finish it off, Melekubo Ukarabo Dineo. Shabalala. Yeah, just to finish it off, So yeah, amazing family vibes with wow, ubaba no mom, baba scream at Shabalala. Oh, guys, yeah, that's yeah. Oh, a legend. Yeah, I don't know even I don't even know what to say. But amazing family. Sinakekela, I may say that with my kids. With Hlokometswe.
And I hear ukuthi le one le uTukolo is making sure ubheke wonke umuntu ubheke uKarabo ubheke nawe bongitshela
Mama,
ukuthi
uTukulu
usigadi.
ucabanga ukuthi umduduzi. In fact, ngathi bamshiya kumele bathi bakushiye ne-boss cup.
Yeah.
Ngathi bamshiya ne-boss cup bathi, hey wena, wenza sure ukuthi ushala umbheke umamakho. NoKarabo not mangathi Karabo. In that introducing voice.
Yeah.
Hayi wena, awume kancane. If we were to leave uKarabo endlini siphume noTumela. Because he's just came back from South Africa. He's been away because he works abroad to Tukulu. So he's been away
Oh,
from.
he's working overseas.
Yep.
Oh, I didn't know. What
yeah.
does he do?
Yeah, he works as a sports manager in a ship cruise.
Oh, that's incredible.
Yeah.
Congratulations, bro.
Yeah.
Proud of you, man.
So now he just came back home. He sits and he lays around. I'm like, Tukulu, but Ati, guess what I've done in my life? I've worked so hard. I've bought the time to relax.
Unangaki manje uriding uTukolo?
Tukulu is 23 now.
Guys, you need to remember I'm a fan of Mandoza. Forget about me being in the industry. I've been a fan of Mandoza since Ngsambashile Nsekasi. And as a fan of someone, we've watched your family for many years.
Yeah.
So I remember when Tukolo was born.
Yeah.
I can't believe he's 23.
He's 23. Shows I'm old.
Guys.
He's 23. He's a big man. Yeah.
Wow, and how long has he been overseas?
He went there for 1 year. He's back in SA for 2 months and then he's gone again.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's gone again. He's always been a child of the world, Tukulo, with his soccer. He's been away. He's stayed in the UK, back. So now with this job, he's traveling all around the world. And there's a time where he called me because we're speaking on WhatsApp. Mom, I'm like, yini manje wena? Hayi manje singayishaya indoda yakho ngeyitembu ngama-passport. I'm like,
Passport, yeah.
Athi no, sengiyayishaya ngithi, yes, yeah wena. Don't go there.
Don't try
Don't
me.
try me.
Passport lami lingayitembe sibhaya.
Athi asengiyanishaya wena indoda yakho ngithi don't try me.
Athi nendoda yakho.
Yeah.
The time like angeke ufike ku-time my boy. You need some more years okuspana.
Definitely, yeah.
That's been incredible, man. And I think before we get into the biopic, I'd like to hear most. And I know you've shared a lot of these on a lot of interviews. How did you guys meet?
The famous Carlton Center.
Was he already Carlton
Carlton
Center?
Center.
And I also want to know, was he already famous? Or just take us through that story.
No, he was not yet Mandoza. He was in the group Chiscop. Oh my gosh, Nabafana Babega Maprugo la. Oh my gosh, I'm like, those are not my time.
I was a big fan, man. Oh.
And my friends were like, Chomi Ushonge was bambing kunzi lava got. I'm like, no. And you know when they say never judge a book by its cover, that was the case. Because I looked at them, I'm like, Aish, yeah, but let me see. Tinkhulume nabangibone, nabo Jen, nabo SB. And then I didn't know what I was meeting brothers for life, you know. I'm like, let me give you a chance. Yo, Izola, yo. But I'm like, Izola is next to Mdeni.
Yeah.
So angisabi Mdeni, Nezola ngizabona. So we met in Carlton Center. Besagibeli taxi. Both of us in Carlton Center. So uhlika Mdeni, angikhaphe, ngimkhaphe e-first gate, ayogibela. Sometimes we will just we started lendlela ngama-taxi.
Choo. So that was before he launched his solo career.
Yep.
Wow, I didn't know it was that long.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I was only it was in end of 1997, start of 1998.
Yeah.
I was 17. Yeah.
What are some of the things that you miss from Tutuzi?
His smile. Oh, his smile. His giving heart. Duduzi was just a giving person that at times I would be like, you don't have to, but he just did it from, his heart. And being a present father, You know, when Umtutuzi closed his eyes, boo, I didn't care ukuthi ngiyomngcwaba ngani, do I have a policy or whatever. The one question as he was laying there, I said, uthi ngenzeni ngalabantwana? Because I didn't know how to be a single mother. He's been there from day one. I remember when I told him that I'm pregnant, ngoTukula, and I'm thinking, mhlawumbe uzothi sifuna isolution or anything. He was excited. Why akubo yitshula mama yakhe? And now I'm like, yeah, manje bathi nizoza nini ekhaya? I'm like, hey, when I haven't even told them endlini. So he's been a present father. Just, you know, there's a difference between Umtutuzi and MANDOZA. He was a cartoon man. And I'm like, I'm like, but now I understand that was his escape from this hectic life. You know, now uzibona uTom and Jerry, nikijimisana. At times he would wash the bold and the beautiful. I'm like, you got some love thing there, you know. So he used to call it as I've got gangster love.
Yeah,
I'm like, oh, okay, yeah. So everything about him, Sbu, everything. I miss a partner in nayo, you know, so now I go to events, I come back, I sit alone because the boys are like, but no, so I miss everything about him. I miss everything. His cooking. I miss his cooking. Bekapheka mara the kishes olishiya linjani. Bekungathi ichiya ngathi itornado. But he would cook. No, he would cook because he loved food. Ndu loved food so much. I've never met someone. Ndu, he'd be backstage. Atufuna ukulala kancane, sleep and food. I'm like, but you're gonna go on stage soon. But 15 minutes before avuka papa mngimvuse or the management bazomvusa, I'm hungry. No, but you're gonna go on stage. No, I need to nibble on something. I'm like, dude, uzamnika something. Ngathi azangalale, ngathi azangadli. Yeah, give him to sleep and food. He's the happiest man. Yes, so he did cook.
Mtutuzi was always in shape. Was he a gym person, or did it also have a lot to do with how you were cooking for him and cleaning?
No. Like someone who
Always
ask,
had a six-pack and always had
it's gym, mamela. Gym. I'm like, yo, but now Tukul is putting the pressure on me because Tukul is a gym fanatic now. So it was always gym. You know, growing with doing a gymnast, I think it was always now.
Oh, that's
in
why
the
Uchi's
system.
Kope,
Yes, so it's always been in his system. So maybe but it was gym. So before Matamla, they would obviously be gym and then a Matamla. So it was just him with gym. Oh, that's where he met Usmodern as a personal trainer. So yeah, it was just gym and a lover of finer things in life.
Yeah, no, because
Oh man.
that's why I Machita they were role models because before getting gaming, seeing to Anekas, it's big everyone.
Yeah.
Nabo Cabello, Nabo Tukolo,
Yes, yeah.
Funa la Machita. And that is our fun we have. Mandoza Begasala's Gab, Begasala top,
Yeah.
Begasala, Began a presence.
No. I have to carry a bag. I can't pay for my lane things go give the manage. I'm like, I want to manage since one but about 10K at you. So it's up at Anyana, as you know. So he had these strange names that you use. So at times, we like, those are the boys. I was telling a friend of mine, you know, when I see the boys, structure, the looks, it's Tukulu. Spiritually, Tumelo is everything. Everything. It's so fun. The sleep, then Karabo can sleep. Yeah. So yeah, man, I'll miss everything. That was the man that, you know, usually they say men hate shopping. Not him to do at all. Because Mina was the type of Mara, must hang a lazy into his nenganje. Minang was beg and a receipt was resale. I mean,
yeah.
I was born a meaning at cook. And this at that time we take one pair but different colors.
Yeah,
like three price, same thing, three different colors. It's with him with the heart of excessiveness. That's what he loved, you know, going big. It's like when we were building the house in Eagle Canyon. We called it our class house.
Yeah.
Baby must beg in the class house. Yeah. He loved finer things in life.
How was he as his star rose? Because you met the Chiskop Mtutuzi.
Yes.
Let's talk about him becoming MANDOZA. And how was he behind the scenes, the Mtutuzi that we did not know him?
He still remains the same. But sometimes uMandoza will take over Mtutuzi. And you know, when we would fight, and I'm like, I'm tired in him, he'll say, babe, I see him, uMandoza. You know, uMandoza just, yeah. It's more, yeah, basically. Like, ngazongijwayela kabi wena. uMandoza mos. No, but angisho yamazi uMandoza bambizila uzoperforma. Hey kanje ayi sekumthola kuphi. Nakho angisabuya ngendlini. I'm like, that same Mandoza uhamba ngomzimba kaMtutuzi. So I think along, yeah, Mashaya, obviously was along the way that thing got, because as a creative, all you want to do into ithandayo, but you don't know the things ezanazo. It comes with fame, it comes with a lot of things, and him having to adjust to the corporate world also, you know, because NKALAKATHA definitely it was we've just signed it off with Bamilan Tatan. So at times it would get heavy. It would get heavy for him. No, this is just heavy for him.
How did you guys handle negative publicity? Because at the time, by the way, for Matutata, we didn't have social media.
Yes.
We used to be blasted by Shwashu every Sunday. And we're not to Shwashu. What would that do to your family, and how would you guys handle it?
So Sundays, whether there's gigs or what, we try to have family days. We saw on door and we come back because we are praying family. If there's one person, you know, I've always known how to pray, but that guy, with prayer to do, like I'm telling you, and even we never go to bed. So it would be difficult. More for the kids more than us, you know. I think especially Abu Utukulo, Notumela, because I wasn't that around that much. It will be difficult for the kids, but we learned along the years, which, you know what, we are not what is written about us. We are still who we are, and we are Mtutuzi Nompo. We are a family. We know at times it will put a strain, because Nami, I'm like, namanga uyenzile lento lena, you know. Yeah. And it will put a strain obviously on the marriage, but we will talk about things, and at times I had, when I saw I'm on the trend but I get these guys, these black guys and black women that are coming up, you know, trying to make a life of themselves. I had to get to a space and saying, before you touch him, come touch me first. I'm like, I said, I will protect him until the day that I die. On the day that he dies, I'll still protect him.
It's not easy for us, people in the public eye, to be in marriages that last as long as yours has. Yours has been what you guys said to the pastor at church, till death do you part. And the role that you played with us watching as his fans, you've been an exemplary life partner to him, and even in his darkest days, even in some of the most lowest moments where we would be hurt as his fans, you stuck it out. You were just always there. And for me, I just want to know the type of home that you come from, and what gave you that strength, man, and what gave him that strength to write the songs that he was writing, because he was full of wisdom.
The foundation is love. You know, growing up elokishini, whether kukhona or akukho, sikhulisa bogogo. You know, our grandmothers instilled an amazing foundation. Naye background ka gogo nomkhulu. I've got a background ka gogo no gogo nomkhulu. So my boys always laugh. But mongakhuluma ngagogo wakho lo ongaboni singamazi. I always quote my grandmother's words. You know, he would quote isiZulu lesakudala. Athi mntanami, ungaboyenza izinto ezimnyama ebumnyameni because indonga ziyakhuluma. And I'll be like, Koko yini indonga? Athi angithi nabiza amabonda nina. So that's, yes.
Sorry, continue.
Indonga ziyakhuluma. So things like that, those foundations that, and I think when I look at it now, him coming from a family where he was with a single mother, ubaba akekho.
Yeah.
I was with umama no baba, but when I was in high school, my mom and my dad divorced.
Yeah.
I think there were somewhere, somehow, longing parts for us. Maybe he was longing for that family, I was longing for that family. And with God's amazing, blessings, I met him, he met me. And our biggest foundation, if there's one thing that I was content and I'm still content about, that Umtutuzi loved me.
So your backgrounds were similar.
Yeah.
Because it's difficult to understand ukuthi umuntu uphume ekhaya linjani.
Yeah.
Umbona the way ayiphatha ngakhona
Yes.
and what comes out of their mouth.
Definitely.
With Umtutuzi, I mean, for me, I've never seen such an artist in South African music history. Yes, some artists do 1 or 2 hits, maybe at most 3 hits, Nyana,
Yeah.
that are jivising but inspirational. He was consistent. He's got over 10 hits, like
Amen.
multiple. I think throughout his entire career.
Yeah.
where he would
Ngimbuza
make
ukuthi,
us
how do you
dance
come with
and
these
inspire
titles?
us. I mean,
Tornado, Skelege, Khotoba. Ngithi la magama la wathatha.
hope, respect,
Respect.
uzothola kanjani, you know?
Yeah.
Umuntu omnyama akafuna ukubona umuntu omnyama yaphezulu, you
Yes.
know?
So from
And
time
it's still
to
like
time.
that even till today. Things
Yep.
he was saying there.
Yes. So from time to time, he'll say, Peba, somebody say kas. I'm like, aye man, on Sunday, so hamba amajitu ne stand, sama keep ekhona ndaphezulu soploma. Even the boys knew, our boys knew, ukuthi mina sihlike lapha siplome, sidla ama keep. Ubona ugogo lapha uphethe umthwalo kumele umbambise. He remained a gassy boy. He always said, my inspiration, I pull me anywhere else. I can be staying in the babs now, but ngisazomfana sekas. That's my foundation. That's what inspires me. He would say that.
Let's talk about him becoming, I won't say the first, because I know Konabo Mama Miriam Makeba, may so rest in peace.
Oh,
Abo Prime,
yes,
may so rest in
yes.
peace. Abo Ntate Kaifa Simenya, Abo Mama
yes.
Letambulu, all respect, Bo Mama Brenda Fasime,
Fasi,
so rest in peace,
yeah.
who did it before us, right?
Yes. And by the way, Sis Brenda died on our wedding. You know that?
Oh, I didn't know.
Yeah, 2004.
sorry, I
In
don't
May.
know.
Yeah. On a Sunday.
Wow. No,
Yeah.
tell me.
It was because I remember I call it the bash wedding, street bash, because I was still waiting for umshado wempela mina. I always used to tell him, "Guti, I've never seen a wedding in a tanka yotwala, in a stage. There's performances.
It's for abantu.
It's for abantu." I'm like,
I'm still waiting for my wedding.
I'm
That
still
was for the people.
No, baby. Sahamba sayobona ama-venue and everything, and he was like, no, but ngifuna ukushaya ithwantshwang. Yakhumula baby sibona masikhula bashada ba-change ama-outfit. I want that. I'm like, in this day and age, I'm like, oh, okay, I'll compromise. Yeah, we'll have it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the Saturday it was East Rand, Ekhaya Katlehong, and then the Sunday it was Epinville because Mama had moved to Epinville. So we got the news on a Sunday and it was sad. I think, after we got the news late, after that, things just, because Brenda was our mother, Brenda was our sister. Yeah. It was very sad. So it's one of the iconic things that I will never forget.
And there were similarities between MANDOZA, no Mam Brenda in the public, us as fans.
Yes.
We always used to see MANDOZA as our male Brenda.
And they've got a
sort of.
song together.
Goji, what song is that?
Um,
Because I know he's got a song with Flame of Light,
yes, Flame of
which
Light.
is one of my
Konje,
favorites. Sure.
Yeah, I forgot that song, but they've got a song together.
have a song together, yeah.
They've got a song together, yeah.
What I wanted to ask was, for those who don't know, and it's important because we're also educating on this episode. We understand we've got our kids who are growing up, and we have to give you guys this history. MANDOZA was, and the reason I was giving props to our predecessors, Abadala. Yes, he was not the first, but for our generation, he was the first biggest crossover musician who took quite raw township kwaito music to the white market.
True.
And I want to talk about that experience behind the scenes. What was going on with you guys? Did he know that NKALAKATHA would become that big? And what was happening in your lives during that era? Because I think that was his breakthrough song that made him the biggest superstar this country had ever seen at that time.
So it's June.
I think, let me mention, by the way, and I won't say arguably, for me, solo artists, because I always say TKZ, they are the greatest kwaito group of all time in South Africa. MANDOZA is the greatest Kwaito artist of all time in South Africa. This is me. This is what I have to say. But I wanted to also know what was going on with the family behind the scenes, because that's what took him to the whole world. That's what made him the biggest star.
So that year is the year that Utukura was born. So before that, asacheka, uziluzo cheka, then we once hijacked. No, ucheka emdeni. Because remember when I was pregnant, then I had to balega and Koko. Yeah, because Baba. No, Baba wasn't impressed. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
This was Luli at that time. Yes, this was Luli at that time. Because I was staying that side because I went to Dinwiddie High School.
Oh, you studied at Dinwiddie?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Yeah. So then I'm like, then after matric, I think pregnant, like run away, go Koko, they're always protect us. Then we were hijacked, Emden, yeah. The car was never found. I was highly pregnant. And then he said, hey, baby, it seems like things, by that time, Izoitulaganjan had been released the previous year already. So then it's fine. And then a few weeks after that, I gave birth to Tukul.
Yeah.
It's a Monday. They've been away as a Chisco performing in KZN. So when the rest of the guys came back to Joburg, he flew to Cape in Cape Town. Immediately when he landed, one of his things in his rider is that wherever this has been singakashati search all, makafika wherever lafika khona, he has to have access to your phone to call him. Whether he's overseas or Rugup, he has to have access to your phone to call him. So he lands in Cape Town, hey, let me call Umpo. Calls my grandmother's house. They said, no, she left this morning. Gave birth to a baby boy.
Wow.
Yeah. Immediately said to Upraji, let's go to the mall. I need to go shopping for my child. So they picked. We came back with the things, the same things. They picked the same things, no KB. Yeah. Then he flew back to Joburg immediately. Didn't even go to studio. Came to the hospital. So Tukulo spent 2 weeks with Tukulo. I remember immediately after 2 weeks he left. And his words were, I'm going to go and make our future. I didn't know what he was talking about. He doesn't even know what he was talking about. But he was very proud to be a father. He says, manje. He left, he went to Cape Town.
And that was his first child, yeah.
Yes.
Because I know what that does to you.
Yeah.
I know this one. What that does to you, it just changes you.
Yeah. So he went to Cape Town. Then studio, when I hear from Ukevi, he's playing Doom. And then he's
clang.
He said,
Clang.
he got it.
Clang.
Yeah, and the rest is and the rest is history. I'm like, who'd think of such a word? It's only someone maybe KZN.
Yes.
So that's why I need to.
Word, yeah.
That's why I need to, the influence of our grandparents. The influence when you've said when you've had that privilege, you'll have that, that influence. So for me, I think that was it. The influence from the grandparents.
Yeah, because nami lawo magama nokuze engqondweni bese ngithi igama lakagogo lesabo
Skeps.
Oh yeah, those type of names. I haven't heard this name in a while. Sport. Like those type of things.
Yes.
Like, wow,
and you're like, bazong understand abantu ukuthi ngithini.
type of thing.
True, yeah. So yeah, we were there, and I think the inspiration was him being a father. So he felt maybe like Saka in NKALAKATHA. Yeah. That's where then NKALAKATHA was born. Yeah.
But let's talk about the success of NKALAKATHA.
Oh.
Because I think that success had not happened in South Africa. I think at that time, as much as it had happened to as I was saying, with our predecessors, it had not happened the way that happened in MANDOZA. And it was the first one in Kwaito.
And I think
Kwaito song becomes that big. And it just, and that was before social media.
True. I think, Sbu, it happened, remember, post 96. 96, this was released in 2000. It's 4 years later. We were still in an era, but Tina that went to Model C schools. We're like, hey, my friend, but it wasn't, we weren't gelling that much. So it was still a good ish. Can I still say this to my white friend? Can I still say that? Can we go dancing together? Can I visit your house? It was still, and especially in the work, but in the workspace and outside in our communities. It was those times hey, ufuna umlungu la yokushini.
Uyakhumbula sesebancane besinokugijimisa umlungu. Guys, that's how it was in our townships.
Yes, yeah. So just after 1996, where we were still learning how do we gel in with each other, then boom, NKALAKATHA came. Yes, boo. I say I love it, I hate it, NKALAKATHA. It was good for the country, it was good for Africa. It was good for the family, it made us our fortune. We survived, kakhulu NKALAKATHA, but it took away a husband, it took away a father from us. The gig guide was hectic. It was hectic. He'll have a day where he's going through 5-6 gigs. He would, at times, he'd have to be chartered, wherever he had to go and pay
to do all these shows.
To do all these shows. He's wanted, manje useMpumalanga, manje bayamfuna eZambia. Now he's back, KZN. Yeah. So, like, we're stranger umtutuzi. We're like, how are you? Good. We're still here, SATLALALA. So, yeah, it took away a bit of umtutuzi. They had MANDOZA, we lost umtutuzi.
This makes me emotional because the older as I am right now, I wish those years when I was that busy, I could have made more efforts to spend more time with my family. Those are some of my regrets. I'm very emotional when you're saying that because I can relate.
Yeah.
I remember those times when I had like 3, 4, 5 shows in a day.
Yeah.
Shooting friends like these. We are back on radio. Next weekend it's the same thing. The other weekend, and then a year later you are releasing another album. And a hit again, and then you are busy again.
And then still you also want to be usbu. You still want to go and party. You still want to mingle. You still want to attend events. Because it was very, very fast-paced life. Yeah.
It hurts me the most when I see ingosis asedladleni. There's years where abambonang umalu, abangbonang, know?
Yeah.
Like they never had time with me. Like I was just out there. I was for the world.
NKALAKATHA years, Tornado years, Kotoba years. I've never spent New Year's Eve Nomtutus. He'll be somewhere out of the country all the time. So he would be like, asking him, and 12 o'clock, he's on stage. We can't say, hey, Happy New Year. So Skulmenai, when he's back at the hotel, hours later, or Ksasa if we're sleeping. So, but the one thing that he will say, don't book me anything on Christmas Day. Yeah,
family.
That's family.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah,
Family,
that's family. But yeah, we get to be hectic when us boo, and we lose on special moments, with our kids, with our families. But this is Otini, we're chasing this life. Yeah, we're chasing this life, and in that moment, we also end up losing ourselves, because you are always out there with strangers, and we try and keep a smile all the time, even in hectic times. You just have, because hey, unjani, but it's part of the job as Nizinto. You understand?
And the reason why we're having this conversation, especially this part, to our younger Amapiano artists out there, no matter how much you can be busy, yes, we are chasing this money, yes, we are hustling, find time to spend as much time as you can with your family.
True.
Because those are the years when you're older like us, you don't want to be regretting.
Yeah.
She just spoke about it and I got very emotional because I know that's what happened in my life. And unfortunately, you can't reverse time.
You can't reverse time. Yes, yeah.
You never had time to spend with them. So whatever chance you get to spend with family, do it. Whether my cousins wako, whether zagini, whether my younger brothers and sisters waka, my cousins, whether abazali bakho, mfazi wakho, ifro yakho, out yakho, boyfriend yakho, try as much as you can to spend time with family. That's the reason why other musicians, and I'm sure you guys did that a lot, where you travel together.
Yeah. I stopped traveling with him at times with when the kids mase ilist seyanda. I was like, I'll stay at home with the kids. But there were times where if I'm a geek, they're appropriate, we'll travel together as a family just to be able to spend time with him. You know, this thing makes me sad when I speak because the last few years, I'm sad, especially 2016, 2015. That's where I had my husband. And I said, God, did you have to take him at this time where I've got my husband, where my husband cares with uchayise ngobani mawubhekile uzofika ngobani isikhathi ngithi no angicontrol traffic. When he's on a gig and I don't call, he says, but awucheckanga ukuthi ngifikile. You know, it was that moment. And if maybe you've noticed the last few gigs, he wouldn't say Mandoza, he will say Bab Shabalala, yeah. So there's also a song that I'm gonna release called Ilifa. He calls himself Ubab Shabalala, and he is Ubab Shabalala.
Sure. May the good Lord bless us in the entertainment industry to find wives and husbands like her. There were times when the negative publicity hurts us as fans. It hurts us so much where we would, you know, when you love people and you're a fan, you even pray for them.
True.
Did you have any moments where you felt like, you know what, I'm enough, I'm out of here?
Definitely, I did. I did have those moments where I was like, yo, I just do ngikhathele mina manje, you know. Ngizongala ngekhaya. Ozokulandela umdudu uzola esofeni. Silungiza kitchen onkos Jesu. Uzohlala. Ngithi no angibuye endlini ngizohlala iweekend yonke la ngijuthe konke nabantwana. Athi hayi nami ngizohlala. I'm like sezashisa itrati manje. Sesixakile itrati manje. And Sbu singabantu sonke sinama flop empilweni. If bengimshiya umdudu ngimshiyela bani? Was I guaranteed that the next guy I was going to find bangeke benama flop wakhe naye? No, I wasn't guaranteed. So I said I'll stay. Sizolungisa. So sithe kumfundisi till death we shall do that. Sizolungisa. So to end nami ngomuntu I had flops nami ngokwami. So we'd sit down and yeah, when MPHO you can't apologize. Hey, we will sit down and we'll find a way to work it out. And not for us, kakul, but for these kids. We made a pact that we will never raise kids in a broken family. Yep.
I'm a 2000 Konamanje, they say things like, no. My family or my in-laws can't come and tell me or Musari Utara Tibaka Bukhaleng. Now when it does this, I'm out. I'm like, I think in 2023, 2024, we are so quick to be out.
True.
And I'd like to hear your contribution as far as that conversation is concerned, because you remind me of how our mothers were, where you stuck it out. I remember moments and conversations and arguments and even fights of my parent fighting. But my mom was there until death did them apart.
I think I'll say again, Sbu, the background. It's like bangilaya kahle when they left me kwaShabalala bathi sizokushiya la nozowakha, and I was received very well kaShabalala. So bare awunyali yena fela unyala the whole family because uzokhulisa isibongo, and I did exactly that, ngasikhulisa isibongo. So I stayed not because abanye abantu, I stayed because I wanted to stay because bengizowakha, and I did exactly that. So, you know, each for their own. If, let's say, Karabo gets married and she says, oh, ma'am, no, I'm divorcing, 6 months. I can say so much, but it decision each for their own. My situations are fun. And I'll never tell the next woman to say, stay. Situations are not the same. I stayed because bengwazi kumela into yami mina. You know, so each of their own for their own decisions.
I love your answer. I always say the same thing. Abantu will give you advice
Yes.
based on their own experiences.
True.
So don't go around taking everyone's advice. Because
Yeah.
umuntu advise according to impilo yakhe.
Yeah.
So ungahambi ulalela abanye abantu ukuthi wena impilo yakhe ihlukile kunalo muntu ayitshwanele
True.
yakhe.
No.
And ononto utsama utlolela kaofela di advice tse utlolela batho ba ileng gore ba single ka nako eo.
Yeah.
They are mingling out there.
Yeah.
Some of them are doing very well. They're coming from rich families. And they keep
Thank
giving
you.
all these advices, but the background ya bona ayitshwanele ya gago.
My-
Ayifani neyakho.
True. My other friends thought I was crazy after I became a widow. Ngithi ngizoshifta kini kancane because nishadile. Angifuni mani buye ebusuku. Amadoda wena bathi yeah nizule naloya. You understand? Ngithi I'm not saying we're no longer friends, but you know until let's adjust kancane. You know, because I also want to give your marriages a chance. Nifike la ngifike khona. So you have to kancane elifini, and I'm not saying you can't be friends with single people ushadile because it's decision eyakho, but try and find the balance because mazohamba nabotsotsi ngeke uhambe nabotsotsi ungasutsotsi
Yeah.
uzoba isigeleke kubena
Noma ngaba discipline kanjani, there's gonna be moments
one
where-
bathi
yeah,
hayi mina ithatha ngeke kwenzakaleni
Yeah.
uzoyithatha that thing. So try and find a balance ukuthi is it more aba the same la ngikhona or, and I'm not saying I'm friends with widows kuphela, but yeah balance the equation.
How difficult was for you to move on after his passing? Famous, huge, biggest kwaito artist of all time. You're the wife, you're in the spotlight, selling ingane. How did you manage those years after?
It was very difficult. Remember, number one, financially, that one income is gone. That one income is gone, and you're like, what do I do? By school in Labantu. Immediately, Tukul is done now. Tertiary. Wenzani. But I always say, Tutuzi, may your soul rest in peace, and I thank you all the time. Guys, we've survived with some of the royalties. Besides my income, my one income, but we've survived. He left a legacy. We've survived with a legacy. He left a legacy that made us survive with the kids. Yes, there's been different times. But you know what? And because you were married to this superstar, you understand? So you have to uzibambe and bona ukuthi wena as a woman, how do you play it around? Yeah, but with the support from both families and my friends, guys, akekho umuntu onabangani abafana nami. I have soul sisters. Guys, and these are not friends engihlangane nabo manje. That's why I had 12 bridesmaids. Because I had a friend from primary, I had a friend from high school, I had a friend from tertiary, from my side, dad's side, father's side, yes. Mawuthiwa bakubambile kanje, my friends have always done that. So with the support, it was difficult, but with the support, it made it easy. There was a friend that I could call and say, Choma, rumela yabo rotho fela. And no one would know. Send yabo rotho fela. Yeah, masiphuma sidlile sifana nabanye abantu endlini. So it's been a heavy thing. Yeah, he left a big mark. The pressure also with abantwana, which you can't be a normal child. But luckily, my kids, they are themselves. You'll never see my kids carry who was my dad. Tukulo. At times, give it takes. Tumelo. They just karab. I think because I've always taught them that we are not the superstars. Mtutuzi is the superstar. We are not the Mandozas. We might be the NKALAKATHA family, but we are not. So we've never carried that thing, which, hey, yeah, in. No, we've never. So it was always kept us humble to say we can be ourselves.
If you were to give advice right now to our partners who are involved, and not only females or sisters, even guys who are involved with our public personalities or musicians or superstars or even actors or actresses or people who are famous, what advice would you give to those spouses and those families out? And I know it's coming from your own experience, but what would you like to say to them?
Number one, Protect that person. You guys face a lot out there. You guys face a lot out there, especially manje kune social media. What's this thing? Twitter. I'm not even on Twitter, guys. Protect those people. Protect your partners. If you know your truth and you know where and I obviously you're not gonna protect umuntu otoji. Protect that person. Enjoy the real person, not the stage person, not the actor. Don't be fascinated about ukuthi, you know DJ Sbu. Be fascinated ukuthi ngizwala noSibusiso. Sibusiso is my man. You understand? Not the public figure. No, get to know the person. Spend time. Talk. Ayikho into edlula ukukhuluma Sbu. Ugogo akhe ngumntana kagogo. Ugogo bekathi yona ngomlomo ilungiswa ngomlomo.
Ilungiswa ngomlomo, yeah.
Yes, yeah. So talking, we've went through moments but we learned to talk nomduduzi and things became smoother. So I always used to say kumduduzi, mamela Jo, ngeke ungikhone. By the time uthi uzongitshela or you're gonna confess, I know it because I'm the government. I'm always one step ahead of you. I say we're not government. Yeah. So yeah, I'll say that protect them. Enjoy every moment. Enjoy. You guys go through the most out there. You are being bashed by the public, by the media, whether you do good or you do bad. And there's also us judging you. We are front and things like that. And now that they have this platform here, social media, I had to reprimand someone. Facebook. Go to Mamel. Before you post something, go and do research. Someone had posted and he took it off. And I inboxed him to say thank you. Because you were quoting something, and you told me without doing a research, maybe this thing, guys, seeing the trailer of the biopic, MANDOZA these people that did, I'm like, maybe is not involved. I'm like, do your research first. I'm free access to everyone. Could have taken the phone or inbox me, then I'll respond to you. Then you can post after I've responded to you. But don't just post. So you guys go through, people post things about you, write things about you without doing research, nothing. They write things they don't know about. You've got the touch, the feel. Uyazwela. So imagine kulokuzwela and you still have to face me and Dini that is treating you like a public figure. You must come to a warm home. You must come to a warm relationship that you can be yourself. Hey, yazin, shaitam endlini. Baby, let's go crazy. Be with someone that you can be yourself with. That's it.
I heard you say in some of your most difficult times, and you got a bit emotional when you were saying it, Uguti, royalties and his hard work has kept the family going with his children.
Yeah.
Advice again, as far as the business side of things is concerned, to our superstars out there, to our entertainers out there, as far as thinking ahead of Nasesingeko anymore. What advice would you share as somebody who's seen the other side of it?
I'll say, know what you're signing. Number one. Ngachazwa, it's the big numbers. Now you're quick to sign. They come. I think my contract, 59 pages. Obviously, you're not going to read that as an artist. Creators are just creative. They just enjoy doing what they do. If there's no one to guide you, I'm sure legal wise, because there'll be words that they put in contracts. So know your business, own your business. That's very important. Know your business, own your business. Make sure there's also a member of the family that knows Maguso, where do we go? Just that one member, whether umama or baba or a partner, or just have that thing which you have one side, one person in the family, one or two. If there's more, good. But just that one person who knows. Mamel, do your research. Now, like technologies these days, akusafani nakudala. Besiphila ngama encyclopedia. Yeah. So I still look at the encyclopedias, go baba, I'm like, hey, maruge wadlala ngathi. Yeah. So this Google, I know not every answer you find in Google is right, But there's so many ways, there's so many platforms where you can do your research. I'm sure iminyango eminingi ivulekile. Do your research about your business before you. Sometimes we are too desperate. So I'll say, know your business. Make sure you know what you're getting yourself into. Because sometimes sisithola sesikuma contract esingakwazi ukuthi siphuma kanjani kuwo. But just being not desperate also, by being hungry. Ukulamba, which I'm hungry for this thing, you know. Mangabona sengireleasile. You find yourself in wrong spaces. Like I said, Tumelo is an artist, he's recording. He's currently studying in ASE.
That's a good school, by the way.
His more focus is on business. And he knows, there's no fail in my house. You fail, you patali imali yami. Those are the rules in my house. You fail, patali imali yami. Kubeka ukufeyila kanengi, but and ngiyahlanganisa neyokera, transport, yonke into, I'll give you the bill, ngicela ungibhadale imali yami. So he's making sure he knows the business side of it. Because angifuna ukuba imomenja mina, so he must know he knows his story more than I do.
Estate planning. Did Mtutuzi have a will? And if he didn't, how did that affect the family?
He didn't have a will, but
because we all don't know when we're gonna die. But I just want us to talk
and
about
we never spoke of death. Even when things, because when he passed on, he was totally blind. Into so but we lived by hope ending. Tina, we pray. We've conquered this cancer last year. Now we'll conquer it. So we never spoke of death nje nakangani. So we always said, kuzolunga. So there was no will, there was no match policies. So I'll say, luckily, with the lawyers in South Africa, it recognizes the wife first and then the kids. So we were protected by that. So obviously, death teaches you anything. I didn't even know there's a place called the Masters. But no, that's where you go to report death and get authority letter, report the estate. I'm like, okay. So those were the things that protected us, that I was able to have this letter and say, I will be looking after the estate.
I hope you guys are listening, and I hope you guys are learning. Not only musicians, not only entertainers. You gotta do it now while you're still alive. And if you've got it, we'll update it every 6 months.
Oh yes, definitely.
Because, and as you're saying, with you guys, because you were married. Yeah. And were you guys married in community?
In community.
You see, that helped you also, I'm sure.
Yeah. It helped you, it didn't help me.
Okay.
Sala na equalate.
Yo, what's an equalate? Because it's not only the good things that we see in the public.
Yeah.
Equalate
behind the scenes. But you know what? I always say, don't run away from equality. Abantu nabo labo bakhuleta negotiate mamel ngisakhulisa abantwana ngizoloku nginibona nge-R1 kancane, things like that. But it is very, very important to have a will. A will is an updated, because izinto change. And nakho sengivuka ekuseni ngayothenga that thing, it's an add-on to the estate. So update your will all the time. I can never emphasize the importance of having a will. It's very, very important.
I know that you're going to do a lot of interviews that are going to focus on the biopic. Yeah. I'm glad that I've had to focus on his life and just your relationship as well, and just how his passing affected the family positively and negatively. Because it helps us, it gives context to the younger generation who do not know Mtutuzi. Now let's talk about the biopic NKALAKATHA.
Yep.
Tell us about it. I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it. By the way, I'm also there, guys. I don't know if you've mentioned it. I'm there. I'm there contributing.
Oh, yeah. I always have these ideas, Mina, and I never think of the money parts. To execute this idea. So yes, this idea, I speak to people, and everything. Because Mina, I'm one person. If you've got umsebenzi, asipush umsebenzi. I say that I've got kids to feed. If you've got a project, come, let's talk. If it makes sense, let's run with it. So everyone that has worked with Mtutuzi, I've always given the opportunity. I've always been open to say, come, let's work. So there's no one who, I've never done that. If there's a project, it's because it's a nosbu. Or approach you fitted for that project. So I came up with this thing. spoke to Von Eaton. Von was
Shout out to Vaughn from Time Inc. Is it
In Time Inc. In Time Inc. Yeah.
Entertainment,
Yeah.
Sunning Hill.
Yeah,
Oh,
Sunning
man.
Hill. You
By
remember
the
those
way,
offices?
That was Kukamatolo was recorded.
Yes.
On the
Yeah.
rooftop. With
Rooftop.
Cleo Nomzix, man, myself
Fridays on
and TK.
rooftop.
No,
Remember?
Brown Tech. Remember? Sunning Hill.
Yeah.
Shout out to Vaughn, man. Thank you
Yeah,
guys
and
for what you
Carl
contributed.
Eaton.
Carl Eaton.
And Carl
The
Eaton,
family, I
yeah.
think they're one of the most underrated people in the entertainment industry for their contribution.
Yeah,
They did
true.
a great job. So I
Yeah.
just had to acknowledge you guys. Let's call this off
Definitely.
this step.
No problem. So we spoke, we're like, hey, who do we approach? Do you want to do a small South African thing and everything? And we're like, let's approach BET. They were excited. They were like, yes, we're running with this. So I was part of this from the writing to the, everything, the shooting. I was on scene every day with no fail, new life. Magical time of 5. Magical time of 5, that means meling bell up on 5. Guys, I'm a morning person angali. Mara ngabo 5 ngisazimamela ngisazicabanga ngisathandaza, but I showed up. I showed up because I knew what I wanted to see. I wanted the story to be told right. And people must understand with the biopic, there's been the people la eMzansi. There's only been one biopic that's been done, Egaleb Machoisa. And because there hasn't been many biopics, we don't understand the term biopic.
What is a biopic?
A biopic, it tells a life story, yomuntu, but it's not going to tell you it the way it is. Like I was saying, I'm telling a life yomuntu Oshonana 38 in 6 episodes. I'm not going to include everything. Sbu. Not going to include everything. There'll be, according to who wants to come in front and tell their stories, how they spend time with Umduduzi. It went according to that. Also, I'm not gonna be able to satisfy everyone according to characters that I chose. When ungathi ngikhethe ubani bani, omunye athi ngikhethe ubani bani, but it was all about what I and the team saw. So when it comes to Wiseman, guys, Wiseman and Lorraine.
Yeah.
Hi guys, Umpo Nomtutus.
Yeah.
Umpo Nomtutus.
Oh, so who's playing you?
Lorraine Moropa.
Wow, Lorraine Moropa is playing you.
Yeah.
And then Wiseman, Wiseman. And for me, my love for you goes from way back. Well, I think you didn't know at the time how much of a fan I was of you. But for some reason, someday, I think it was 4 or 5 years ago, you posted a video of yourself and Mo Fire. And I think my love for you from then on was solidified with Yankana and Ntwana. So I'm glad you went with Wiseman.
Oh, man.
And by the way, also the option,
Yo.
the decision of choosing Wiseman. Why Wiseman? And I'll take you back to that train of thought to answer the question.
Yeah.
We'll keep her from where you're trying to go to.
He gave it his all. He gave it his all. From the voice, Maktua umuntu uyifile from la guye when he did auditions. Immediately, there were a lot of people that came to audition for the MANDOZA role. Also, there were people that got different characters, but they auditioned for the MANDOZA role. But with Wiseman, with the Wiseman, and at that time, he still had Inwelene. By the time we started shooting on the first day of the shoot, I've spent time weeks because we spent time because you had to feel. Understand this the Kasi life. We had to go and spend time at Tunain. Because one of the things we had to do that is that
spiritually you must let him know.
Spiritually,
Yes.
I had to let him know. Also, we shot the biopic named Mpahla Zakamduduzi.
Are you serious? With the real clothes? Yo. I'm getting goosebumps again. Legacy.
Mamela, this is not just somebody else. This is MANDOZA. A first time for everything. So I had to keep up.
And when you knew this is what he dressed like when you were there pretty much almost all of his MANDOZA career.
Like there's
you
a
knew
wedding.
what he was wearing when
There's
he
a
was doing
wedding
this.
scene. The wedding scene. Wiseman is wearing isutu kamduduzi.
Lorraine
Lorraine is wearing my wedding dress because I still have the whole wardrobe.
Wow.
You know why? Also, I still have the wardrobe. I the boys, but I Lena mama. And others, I'll be like, my ungayigqoki kanjani umduduzi angayigqoki nje uyayimosha Dumelo ayigqoka so umduduzi uyayimosha Dumelo bathi mina lithatha impahla zendoda yakho uyazikhulumela le impahla lezi so I've kept impahla zikaMduduzi all this time yeah and sometimes you know the spirit it was just the spirit usually I've spoken to other widows hi ngiphe the family ngiphe the in-laws I'm like man guys can I just keep this it was part of my healing journey I wanted to keep it because there were times like the pyjama I still have that pyjama at times when I want to feel him I still go and smell that and
wash since
lawashwa but
okay.
it still has lawashwa layakazwa nje ngamanzi plain but I still
yeah
I still feel and smell him even with his clothes mayivule wardrobe it still has that
scent
smell so that's why we had to go emathuneni and you know siyobika that's how we started and that's how we ended the project ukuthi also when we're done shooting mkhulule ungahambi naye yeah so Wiseman and Lorraine when I saw the chemistry when I saw nah you spiritually orientated like us and you are prayer warriors I'm like yes yeah so my Wiseman and Lorraine umduduzi I get excited when I speak about them.
I know Lance Stir is also a part of it. Shout out to Lance, Motherland Records, Ghetto Rough.
Yeah.
I'm there as well. Who are some of the other people that are featuring?
So we've got also Mzambia.
Mzambia
as Lollipop. Mzambia as Lollipop. We've got Mamlili and Dube.
Mzambia is playing Lollipop.
Yes.
My favorite.
Mamela silande ikoko, the hardcore. We've got Don Tandeka. We've got we've got Ulinda, Ulido.
Yeah.
And we've got we've got a lot. It's packed with. So I've gained another family. You know how I was to the guys about SP, about Jenny, Bangizuma Stand, SP, may
rest in
soul,
peace, my brother.
Sizwe,
Rest in peace, Mfowethu too. General ngikhumbulile mfethu asike sihlale phansi hasla sikhona sixoxe mfethu I hope ukrend lapho khona
that's my brother engisele ngaye you know uzophamisa ifone sister right yo guys when I speak about General
gets emotional sometimes no
because it gets heavy for him also ukuthi he's left all alone
I'm
alone, like
what
would I do if no General mina all my guys that I've been with since childhood and now they've left me but we've got you know other guys that were dancers like Ufana that are still holding you know him and Amanya Machita and thank you very much to Machita for always taking care of Ujeni you know so yeah it's an amazing cast Sbu and like they gave it their all so I've gained a new family now you know they would like hey mashabalala sisomdala Wiseman will pick up the phone sisomdala all right Lorraine like oh simple I'm like hey Twinny so I've gained a new family with a biopic and I'm excited Ulindo guys I smile the new Chisco you guys are going to be stunned
who's playing the Chisco guys apart from Wiseman because we know we're playing Mandoza Ubanu SP, Ubanu Sizo, Ubanu Chitizet.
So we've got
new actors.
Lindo is part of the Shishkop.
Lindo is
Zambia is part of the Shishkop.
Zambia also. Okay,
yes. And we've got now I forget his name. He was good adulting.
Yes.
Good
looking young.
Nice fine. Yeah.
He just said Nami Kamalanga.
Yes.
Love you, bro. Proud of you guys.
Yeah,
sure.
I'm like, yo, guys, we've got these young, and you know, by young but fresh, they remind me of the young Chisco.
You know what I always say? I say, Ingosi they are reminding me of Yakumula Labo Putlaba Boma, Boys to Men, Aboma, All for One, Aboma Silk, Naglama movie was some American those days. Abo Boja in Lama movie, Abo Best Man.
Best Man, yes.
I'm starting to see Ingos they're starting to become those type of guys.
Yes.
They're becoming this youth that goes to the gym. They look good, they look
take care
after
of themselves. Their
like,
dress code.
Young understand, and that's another generation.
Yes.
Just top.
And I love it. You know, someone asked me, what was your plan? We didn't have plans. Tina, we're just living.
Let's post the joke.
Mamel was Peter. bathi kunakuphi lapha asiyeni sobona
this shit
khona
sabona khona,
so ngena kanjani sobona khona
Sobona
singena
khona,
kanjani
songena,
yeah so them I think they've got a plan of how like you don't impose anything kutumela uzokumamela yes with respect athi no that's not for me athi no this is my plan with Uheri I'm like okay no I was just suggesting buya kaneno yeah
Yeah, that's what I look at it.
ngiyacabanga ukuthi ugceke kanje Tumela no that's not me in my age no
Yeah.
no that's not me I'm like okay sharp
So now in South Africa, we're dealing with the children, actually even now the grandchildren of the first middle class.
Yes.
So if you look at the history of the country from 1994 coming this way, the middle class has given birth to these kids. Now these are the kids that are now 20-something-year-olds.
Yeah.
They're starting to have their own families, their own kids. That's why when you go to Instagram or South African Instagram, you'll see all these nice, polished, young
True.
girls and boys that are clean, that hit the
They
gym, that
know
are
their story.
Yintwana zethu,
Yeah.
ingosi zethu.
True.
And that's what makes me proud.
Yeah.
But on the other side of the coin, also what makes me sad is nangishaya around the kasi ngibona iy'ntwana zishawa inyawo, you know what I mean? Like what we had to go through when we were growing up.
Yep.
That's the
Yeah.
side that hurts
Smooth.
me.
That's why I had to make sure this project is short ekasi because Mduduzi coming from Ezola, he fought so hard to put igama leZola out there. So I've always said to the guys, I may not have anything, but I will always come back ezochazem. I will always come back ekasi ngilethe isinkwanyana. Whether uthola umsebenzi ukuthi uguke le yanto camera uyibeke lapha or whatever, but you'll make something. It's up to you. How will you use that money, that small income? How will you grow it? So I will make sure that in each and every project that I'll do, I'll go back to ekasi. Just to part of this inyaup is poverty, and someone will argue and say poverty mara bayithatha imali yokubhema. That's why it steals.
Baganga.
That's why baganga to go and buy the thing.
And it's an addiction.
And it's
man.
an
Satanic
addiction.
addiction.
It's an escape zone. It's gugabete kaya. So I'd rather mpasilo matric. I've got a degree now. Anguthola umsebenzi. So man, outing is that. Uqala kancane ay outing izwe. Ay akumnandi ngitayi. From that, it's an addiction. Satan, it's Satan.
What should I expect to go through emotionally and mentally when I watch that biopic in NKALAKATHA?
So,
As a fan of Mandoza and as a 2000.
so when you watch NKALAKATHA, you're gonna meet uThemkosi, Umduduzi no Mandoza, because we start you from uThemkosi, so that I want people to understand what I got to understand from Umduduzi. Why has always been hungry to have so that he can provide. He's been like that from a young age to say, I will go hustle so that I can provide. So that has been uThemkosi from the beginning. Themkosi has been like that. I'll do things, but not for me, to provide for my siblings, to provide for my kids. That's uThemkosi, that's Umduduzi. And I also I wasn't gonna come and say, hey, nako sesontweni, hey, no, that was not Umduduzi. Umduduzi lived a lavishing life, and uphilile Umduduzi, uphilile. And I made sure, that's why I said there were parts that I didn't know of Umduduzi, where he spent time with friends. I didn't know what they got up to. I got to know that with the biopic, and I'm like, oh, okay. Seriously, hayi kazi nisho uthi amajita yaso I bekumnandi. I'm like hey cha I bekumnandi. I'm glad as long as you had fun, guys. Yeah, so I'm also revealing the highs and the lows, when we lost the house, when we didn't have money, when I had the stroke and he was there, when there were tabloids, the accident, everything smooth. Everything. And Mamela, in me saying everything, this is just a touch on. BT, ngathi zofuna season 2 no season 3.
Yeah, no, I think so.
You can never.
6 episodes.
Never,
is not
no,
enough.
it's not
Of the
enough.
life of Mandoza.
Never.
The greatest
never,
kwaito artist of all time.
Never.
No.
Never. And season 2, season 3. Mela sike siyena kuma country lawo manje siyashoota where he was. Yeah. So you're going to be entertained by uThemkosi, by Umduduzi, by uMandoza, you'll see the father side, the brother side, the cousin side, the artist side, when things were heavy. And we are not going to run away from the fact that, there was substance abuse. I show all of that. Because also with these things, boo, more than anything, it must be a lesson for upcoming artists, actors, actresses. Guti, once was Zamagai one, it's gone. You've managed, and big up to you, Budwam. Big up to you. I salute you. I salute you. I've seen drugs like MPHO and Gamganj, but the one thing I always had in my head, ubaba mangathini if angezwa ukuthi umphoza such things.
Sure.
We understand. So some of us are strong. We can, siyakhona ukuzibamba. Some of us are weak, and by one try, angiyazi ukuthi iba
Hey, I always say that.
One try. One try, you are
don't
gone.
even start or try.
Don't even start or try once. So it must be a lesson. Because this was the guy who had everything. Because drugs are not cheap. Drugs are not cheap. This is the guy that who had everything, but also lost everything.
But also the comeback, is it on the biopic?
The comeback also.
Because the comeback was on another
The
level.
comeback also.
I remember, I think the collaboration with Cleo.
Yep.
I think that was the comeback, no?
Yeah. Skellige
Yo,
Facebook.
yo.
It's to show Gucci, if someone's got the thing, no matter what, you can never so you could never, the two songs I'm gonna release, Asemang Lemang, who goes through this and overcomes this. That's what he was saying. And uyabala bo Sinyako, uyabala bo Brenda lapho. And
Unreleased. It's never been released.
no, I'm gonna release it now.
Is it him, his voice?
It's his voice.
Wow.
And there's where he says, Ilifa lechuta. That's another song.
Lothathwa yihlakani, lodliwa yihlakani.
He says, Lodliwa ikeleke.
Oh, lodliwa yikeleke.
So he knew that Ilifa lakhe ngelidliwa ikeleke because umpo ukhona.
Yeah, he had built
Yeah.
a family.
Yep, yeah. He was content with going umduduzi. He was content, he was okay, saying, I've done my thing. Siyafika senza into yethu emhlabeni. So he's done his thing. And he was ready to go home, knowing that ngishiya kunjani laphayana.
Not as a husband, as a human being, what has Mtutuzi taught you?
Umduduzi.
Let me say, what has Mtutuzi's life taught you?
I will still emphasize of this thing of giving, and forgiveness, and love, guys. Duduzi had so much love. Duduzi bekazokuzana a stranger, nini athi hayi babe umfundisi lo. Ngithi also umfundisi. Angithi uyazi ukuthi ngizojaza ngithi umthatha ke manje lo. Duduzi will always bring, he'll bring you strangers. Not because of borekile, but because of love. Come meet my family. Wazi ukuthi masakakulethile ekhaya, you are gone. So it has taught me forgiveness, and it has taught me ukuthi indoda ingawa namhlanje kusasiphinde ivuke. Yeah. And my famous words is that no matter what you go through in life, kusane hope. That other side, there'll always be hope. Never, once it's a saying, Yoguti, the saddest part is to die when you're still alive. But when you're carrying that beacon of hope, you will never die usaphila. So he always fought, Gugu will be umduduzi, but umduduzi uzageza that as long as ngistashile, I'll show up.
Can I please share the story with you, Siswam, as I close this podcast episode for today? Umzegezege, and shout out to Umzegman wherever he is, came about because of an interview MANDOZA had with Ufetjo. Shout out to Fetjo Kambule Majota for his greatness, one of the greatest presenters of all time in South Africa. He had an incredible career as well. He had a morning show called Fetjo Live and Dangerous. He also had a TV show called Fetjo Live and Dangerous.
The YFM days.
Those days. Fetjo did an episode, yeah. But now I'm not talking about the radio side, the TV side.
TV side, yeah.
He did an episode and he would make fun of everybody.
Yeah.
Like Americans would.
Yes.
And he would localize it. I would make fun of Mama Felicia,
yes,
and etc.
yeah.
But the one episode he made fun of Mandoza's English.
Yes, I remember.
That was the birth of Umzagaze. Siyabonga Siswami for being the woman that you are. Siyabonga for everything you've ever done for us. Siyabonga for showing us what a woman can be in holding down such an incredible, not just superstar, like iconic figure in our generation. I know that it's not easy because I've been in those shoes for many years. It's not easy to even keep relationships. I know when things are difficult, people disappear. Nobody's your friend. Everybody wants to come and take. Everybody wants to come nagumnandi.
Yeah.
But to have those people who hold you down when you're going through the most, and you're going through it in public, it's not easy. And that's why my respect for you has always been high up there. And I continue to respect you and what you've done yourself with the family, the team with the biopic and the children is inspirational and encouraging for our families. And I hope my family watches this podcast as well. I always speak highly of Umama Tefni Mashile Nkosi,
Oh, yes.
who always does annual lectures of her husband, who speaks highly of her husband, and who has carried her husband's legacy all these years. And when I see younger women like you doing the same, I can only imagine how difficult it's been, how not easy it is. But I also appreciate you for inspiring our younger ladies, our younger women, our younger guys even, on how to hold down such a big alpha. I wouldn't want to say alpha male, but alpha human being. Whether that human being can be a female or a male. When you are there and you are standing in front of the family, in front of the whole world, in front of Umfundis and Unkulunkulu to say, this will be all the way down till death do us part. You've done that exactly, and I honor you. Congratulations and siyabo.
Thank you. Also, I want to say thank you to you. It's not easy out there, but you've always siyathengisa, more fire forever. And seeing a black man saying, no, but you say next opportunity. So you've said that the journey that you went through with retail is not easy to crack. So congratulations, Butwami, and you are giving people like me hope, because I'm launching a sanitary pad for a girl child, and one day I'd want to ngena lapha na store and like kimpho yabasadi ela. And so mangena store ngibona more fire ngithi ngiyeza nami. So congratulations, Butwami. Thank you. They've spoken so much good and bad about Imo Fire, but azangu bege left, azangu bege right, you kept on. So thank you. That's an inspiration for us, in the business world also, to say when you believe in something, just go forward. Never mind the noises. Yes, because there's good criticism, there's bad criticism. It's what you take, and what you took, it never, but it kept you going. What in Sazongbona it right in Sazongbona in boardrooms, in Sazongbona everywhere. So well done. Thank you. Let's keep on pushing. I was a manyama flavor smell.
Siswam, ndozli na utam. Do for it to Sabo.
And there's a picture of him holding a more fire.
And that's what I wanted to say.
There's a picture of him
From
holding
me
a more
being
fire.
your fan. From me, and if our editor can actually put that picture on
Please,
the spot.
yeah.
From me being your fan to your last days, I think it was his last few months.
Yes, yeah.
When he showed me love, he had a picture of more fire. And we all know a superstar like Mandoza holding your product, that costs a lot of money.
And
but he showed me love.
Like
when nobody
Ubambeka
wanted to
nje.
touch me.
When
Nobody wanted to take pictures of more fire those days.
More fire. Yeah. I will always, Butwam, will always give you that support anytime. That's why I always insist, but whenever I'm doing something, a Mandoza thing, do not leave Usbu out. Sbu has given me support. Whether I petegam to skumbulum to dozi, you'll always come to see. Let's celebrate the small, the big celebration. So thank you. You've been part of the legacy. So let's not stop here. Let's still grow together. Thank you.
Nyabonga siswami mtu. For so. So I think Nati ukutazi indwana zethu ukuthi let's choose right. Who you marry is the rest of your life. So it's extremely important the decision that you are making on who to marry. it's a decision that it's going to either make or break the rest of your life. So now I'm speaking to sisters or brothers, entertainers or non-entertainers, anyone out there. Khetha kahle, choose right. Who's going to be your husband? Choose right who's going to be your wife. And with those words, I'd like to close it off. Looking forward to NKALAKATHA, the biopic. When is it debuting? Which channels? When are we going to see it?
It's debuting on the 16th of August 2023, BET channel 129.
BET channel
9
129.
o'clock.
Nice.
9 p.m. 9 p.m.
9 p.m.
9
ebusuku
p.m.
ntambama, ne?
Yes.
Nice.
Masenhle senidlile senirelaxile like ding 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 ding.
So that's exactly a week after Women's Day. Yeah, ngoba Women's Day ngay 9 August.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
the biopic debuts ngay 16.
Yep.
9 p.m. BET channel 129 DSTV.
Yep.
God bless you, Sis Wami, yabo.
Yeah, Bob. Thank you for having me.
And congratulations for raising such amazing, beautiful kids.
Thank you. Thank
Sure.
you. Yeah, Bob.
Tukulo, the Grootman is looking forward to seeing you. I haven't seen you in many years. I can imagine all the great things that you're doing. I'm very proud of you, bro. And Karaba, I just met you now. You're sitting over there. You're probably going to be watching this episode. You're very beautiful. And you're tall. She's tall.
She's tall.
She's stunning.
She's tall. Imo mini me. Bang this Smith ending. I'm the Smith of the family. Tumelo is the tallest.
Yeah.
Tumelo is the tallest. Tumelo is taller than Tukulo.
Sure.
Tukulo, even the voice is
Yeah.
more Mtutuzi voice is
Yeah.
more deep than Nega Tukulo.
No, I'm Lewa Shange voice.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh my
Shange
gosh.
is voice.
A baby girl. Oh my gosh. Wow.
Siyabonga.
Bongile mina
I think we
Thank
played our parts in our generation and we still continue to do so.
true.
So ngicela uqhubeka ngalento enzayo siswami, siyabonga ngokusivakashela.
you very much.
I'll see you guys on the next video. I hope this episode took you through an emotional roller coaster. It inspired you. It made you sad. It made you laugh. And it also made you see things differently, especially some of you guys who are in the industry. I think it was great to hear the other side of Uputum Tutuzi's life from a person who was right there front and center of his entire MANDOZA life. And I think it can only be that person to have been there to become the executive producer of a biopic. Before I let you go, I think I want to say, as an executive producer, are we going to see more of you doing or taking this part, becoming a producer, doing film, biopics, documentaries? Because I think
definitely.
this is an incredible start. I can't wait to see it.
I'm already on my second production.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. But there I'm in front of the camera. Then my third production, still executive producer. I'm loving this. You know, I mean, I love to explore.
Yeah.
So it's a new space. I'm loving it.
Yeah.
I'm loving it. It's a new crazy space. But yeah.
Guys, trona mahasla. Throw umuntu nawuceda ukuvaya ilegacy yakhe yayo. Throw umuntu ukuthi nawuceda ukuthi uthatha ilegacy yakhe ubeka kwenye level. Siyabonga siswami.
Thank you very much.
God bless you.
Okay.
See you guys on the next video. South Africans, I hope you enjoyed this episode. South Africans, I hope you enjoyed this episode. Let's meet on the CM BET channel 129 DSTV NKALAKATHA, the biopic. Danko.
Thank you.